What is up, Pyromaniacs? Pyrostasis here. We are back in the world of TDK OP Prison. And mining away, happily. We are working today on getting out of L rank. We want to get into M. I am going to kind of focus, at least for the current time, on getting further and further into the lower ranks. And the reason why is the prices of cores are skyrocketing. And the reason they're skyrocketing is... well, it's twofold. One, it's donors. Oh, hang on. Let me move the mic a little bit closer to my mouth. There we go. Wanted to let you guys know as well, I'm using a different microphone now. So microphone's going to be changing this week, over the next couple of days, weeks, whatever you want to call it. Wow, that sucks. Basically, I've bought a brand new mic, a whole new sound system, and this is the default mic setting. And what I mean by that is there's no equalization going on right here. There's no compression really. There's no normalization. Those words are going to mean things to people who know what they're who know some form of audio-visual stuff. For those of you guys who don't, you're like, I don't understand. Pyro's not normal. He's never going to be normal. You can't make him normal. I don't understand. Why would you want to make him normal? But it is going to make the microphone sound much, much, much better. We're just not there yet. So right now it'll probably sound about as good as my old mic, if not a little bit better. Maybe a little bit clearer, sharper, etc., etc. It is better than my last mic, significantly. Then we're going to be running some processes on it. That's this little box over here to my left that you guys can't see. And we'll be doing a lot of different tweaking to that thing. And then at that point in time, we should have a pretty good mic. Now, some of you guys have expressed concern because I was talking about... in fact, I think even one guy was like, Per, if you make your screams quieter, I'm unsubbing. When I say quieter, all I mean... And it's hard to explain to you guys without showing you. And what I probably will do is I'll probably make an audio cut so you guys can see. But basically, right now... And I don't know if this mic will do it, because this mic may auto-equalize to a certain extent. But basically, when you scream, or when I scream, if it gets beyond a certain threshold, then the mic cracks. And it basically sounds like distortion. If you've ever listened to like Nirvana and that grungy sound where it just, goes nuts, that is distortion. And it sounds okay with a guitar, because, if you're planning for it and that's your goal, then it's going to sound good. If you're a voice and it sounds crackly, it sounds, basically the sound just gets distorted. I mean, that's the easiest way of putting it. It doesn't sound pure. So what I'm going to be doing is setting up to where the scream is still loud. It's just not going to be deafening, and you're not going to get that distortion anymore. It will sound, if anything, you will be able to truly enjoy the pyro horrifying scream. So I think those of you guys that are worried about that, you're not going to be worried about it once you actually see the final product. And like I said, we're going to be doing some tweaks to it over the next couple of days. For those of you guys who are actually curious on the actual setup, I have a UX2 Line 6. I don't know what it's called, preamp or whatever. Audio interface, I think is the actual word. It basically is normally a guitar thing. It basically allows you to simulate pretty much every single amp out there. And it is a digital device, so if you're a real audio snob that plays with guitars, then you're going to want that tube amp sound, which means you're going to need like 50,000 tube amps, and the digital sound. While close, is it real? Like JJ. That's how JJ runs. But we are going to be using a very small subset of that. Now, the cool thing about this is I'm going to be able to set up things like echo. So I'm going to make it sound like hello, 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 that type of stuff. I'll be able to do like, the super announcer voice. There'll be a lot of really cool things that once I learn how to use this device, I'll be able to do with. The microphone, I believe, is an Audio Technica 2030 or 2035. Hang on. Audio Technica AT 2035. There we go. And then I'm using where is it? There we go. I am using a Rode PSA-1 Studio Arm microphone. Boom. There we go. So eventually I will get it set up. And then for those of you guys who are also YouTubers and might be curious about it, considering there is like absolutely no information out there about Line 6 UX2. I did not realize this when I bought it, or I might not have bought it, but there basically is no information about the Line 6 UX2 specifically for Twitch and all that such. So basically, it's there's tons of tutorials on how to just generally use the device, and there's tons of tutorials on how to set the device to work with guitars and shit. But there's no like, if you're running a podcast or a YouTube commentation system or a Twitch commentation system and you would like to sound amazing, do these things. None of that. And the people, I guess there is something to be said because everybody's audio, like in my room I'm in right now, the acoustics kind of suck ass because I haven't been able to afford the soundproofing stuff yet. So it kind of blows because there's a little bit of an echo. And, for those of you guys who are audiophiles, you'll notice, oh my God, it sounds like you're in a bathroom. And it's like, well, yeah, it technically does because there's a lot of walls and the audio signal bounces off the walls as opposed to being absorbed by them. Something I'm working on. But for my technical needs, to fix that would be different than, say, Northern Lion, who might record in a garage and, his setup is different, or somebody who might record in a perfect studio, et cetera, et cetera. So, from that standpoint, I guess I can understand it. It would just be kind of nice if like a general overall setup was going. And the funny thing is, like, there's literally like, if you go to like the top, and I'm not going to say everybody, but there's like 20 or 30 top end casters on Twitch that use this microphone and this preamp or audio interface or whatever the hell you want to call it. And it's just kind of funny because if you Google Twitch UX2 Line 6, with spaces between the words, you will come up with Twitch page after Twitch page after Twitch page after Twitch page of casters who use it. But not a single, hey, this is how you use it. Now, there are a couple guides on people who have gotten the device for use with YouTube, but most of them are either like from 2010 or 2009, 2008. One I even found from 2003, and it was like, yeah, I don't think that's accurate anymore. And most of them are more along the lines of just how to use it, or how to use it to make yourself sound like Claptrap or things like that, which definitely I will want to do at some point in time. Just not at the moment because right now I just want to get it to where I can actually sound normal. So we're gonna have to do some playing around and shit. All right, so back to prison. Sorry for getting off on an auditory rant for those of you guys who just completely don't give a shit. What I'm doing now is we're gonna try and bankrupt one of the more dickbagian type people on the server. There's a guy who. And I mean, technically, I'm bankrupting him in a good way because I'm giving him a bunch of cores, which I don't know. Technically, I guess I'm being my own enemy, so to speak, because by giving him these cores, it's going to make him more strong and more powerful. But at the same time, at least I know I'm going to bankrupt him for the time being, and he'll have to go and do some mining and shit again. So basically what we're doing is you'll see I've got 31 void cores. This guy pays, I think it's 600 or 650,000 per void core. So I'm going to try and get a whole stack of void cores, which will coincidentally get me at least a rank up, possibly 2. So we may be able to skip M and go straight to Nancy. Maybe that's the hope, but the real goal here is to hopefully bankrupt him. Now I don't know how much money he's got. He is, I believe, he's an Inferno, so he's gonna have some deep pockets if he's been running around in the Inferno mine, especially. Well, no, he doesn't have auto sell, so he won't be too deep pocketed. So we might be able to bankrupt him with a little less than I'm thinking, because 600K at the moment. Every 10 is 6 million. So right now it's 18 million. 18 million is going to put us not quite at enough to get out of here because we need, what, 20, let's see, 6, well, 5.5. So 5.5 plus 20, 25.5 plus 1.7. So I'd say about 26, 27 million. That's a pretty decent chunk of change. Now, he doesn't buy normal cores, which is also going to be a problem. So we want to sell basically as much as we possibly can. So let me run this up for a minute, see if we can't make a few more. I may not be able to get a full stack, but we're gonna mine for a little bit longer and see if I can't bankrupt this dickbag. All right. So after mining for quite some time, I don't know how many blocks we've actually broken. You guys can see here, 80,984. So making some progress there. You can see how many cores we have on us. We're going to go sell. First, we're going to sell to somebody who I think needs a bit of some help. He's had a rough day today. So we're going to go hook up Awesome Guy first because he's a cool guy. He's a cool guy. He's been getting teabagged by Dizzle Corp's group of cronies. So let's see. What do we got here? Whoa. Where is his actual store? Okay. So void cores and obsidian cores. So we don't want to sell him our void cores because that's it's a nice price, but not good enough for me. Not good enough for me. So we want to sell our obsidian cores. He's paying 528,000 per 16. Dear God. Yes, so let's make sure that's the actual price. It does look like it is, so we're going to go ahead and sell all of these real quick. Okay, we're out, and we'll sell the rest. There we go. We are out. Okay, so PV Dizzle Corp. Let's go see if we can't run Dizzle Corp out of some cash. Let's see. Did he change his prices? He did not. Let's make sure the price is accurate before we do it. Okay, one void core for 610,000. Void core 610,000. That's a pretty insane price. Let's run his money down. I bet he's not gonna have enough money to do this for long. So let's see. There's one 610K. All right, here we go. Ha! That's what I thought, bitch. Out of cash. All right, Dizzle Core is out of cash. We just broke his bank. He's broke. He's broke. All right, so we got to run around and see if we can't find a different person to sell to. Let's see. Oh, hold up. Now they're talking shit. They're saying, oh, I got more money. All right, well. I broke again. Yeah, he's definitely broke as shit. Okay, now I can move and find a different person. Hey, you know, if they want to keep sending him money, I will happily keep taking it. I'm not, no lie. I will happily take your money every single time you reopen your shop. So, all right, so we're looking for somebody who's going to buy void cores for a decent price. So he's paying 10 void cores for 5.5 million. So if we take one of those off, that's going to be 500,000. Is that right? Per void core? Per void core. So let's see. 5. Whoops, that's one too many. My mouse over here is starting to double click. This is pissing me off. All right, so 5. God. All right, you know what? I'm going to have to hang on. I just want to make sure my math's right. It's early. Yes, I know this is simple math. 5,500,000 divided by 10. 550,000 a piece is what I'm thinking. Yep, 550,000 a piece. That'll work for me. Yes, he is. All right, hang on. Where are we at? Whose house is this? This is Dizzy's. Okay, let's go back to Dizzle Corpse one more time. We'll go back real quick and make sure he's fucking broke. Yeah, he's broke. Okay, so back. Because you keep running your mouth. All right, PV Dizzy. Oh, damn it. Is it oh god, Dizzy Vids MC? God dang it. I think this is his house right here. Yeah, I'm done playing with Ash Cool and them. They're just gonna keep me coming back over and over again just to troll me. All right. Here we go. Boom. Damn it. We have one core shy. All right, we're going back to Dizzle Core. We're gonna run him out of money real quick one more time, because if we can get one more core sold for 660 some odd million billion trillion dollars, perfectly happy with that. Come on, come on, make some more money, Dizzle. I got one more core to sell. One more. Yes, that'll work. Okay, now he's broke again. All right, perfect. Okay, so that puts us at 56 mil for the day. Let's go look and see where we are. That's kills. Is it over here? Richest players. Am I even on the list yet? Jesus Christ. Dude, the lowest person on the list has $272 million. God dang, that's insane. All right, let's rank up. Whoops. Sorry. Again, I got to move that damn FPS counter. All right, let's go to mine. Let's go take a look at M. Built by Azaria Active. Oh, this is the sideways mine. Yes. Yeah, see. Not too bad. Other nice thing about this one is it's all emeralds, which means TXP is going to work great here, because I'm going to just look at how fast. Look at how fast those EXP levels come in. And the other nice thing is, because it's all emeralds and bedrock and I have such a high level of breaking, I can actually fly around here and mine, and just look at the EXP. Look at that EXP. Just coming in like ridiculously fast. That's ballin' outrageous. So we are going to be able to make, I mean, granted, we're not going to be making 1 million tokens this way. I mean, obviously it's going to be slow, but it is an extra additional source of tokens, which is easy. It's quick, and 2 or 3 tokens every, like, basically it's a token every, like, what, minute, every 60 seconds. So the longer you mine, and as long as you're, because like the honest truth about it is 0 to 15 is very quick, very quick. So as long as I pay attention, then, I mean, look at that. Hang on. Bang, 15, hit it again, and then we do it again. Look at how fast. Almost to 15 again. Boom, do it again. And as long as I manage to keep up with that roughly, which in all honesty is ridiculous, boom, then I could literally make about 5 tokens a minute. 5 tokens a minute times 60 is what, 180 an hour? Again, not a lot, but it does add up over time. And if that's something that you really wanted to focus on and really be good with, then you could probably make a decent amount of tokens. And obviously, if I have Explosion or Fortune, this would probably go even faster. So something I need to work on. Well, maybe not Fortune, but definitely Explosion. I think Explosion would work. It just kind of depends. So anyways, folks, that's going to do it for today's video. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, slap that like button. Make sure you subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next clip.